Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. This is Joe Nicasio coming to you from Los Angeles, California. And what I wanted to share with you today is my first LinkedIn Live. I wanted to share with you this opportunity to transition from employee to entrepreneur. And this presentation, if you're an employee and you don't want to be an entrepreneur, if you figure that entrepreneurship is not right for you, then this video is probably not for you. But if you're somebody who, you do have a job and you don't like driving to that job, you don't want to go to work because you don't enjoy it or it's stealing your soul, or for some reason you just want to do your own thing, then I think you'll get some value from this conversation today. And so, there's this opportunity to transition from being an employee to an entrepreneur. And, it's not an easy journey. However, one of the things, I've worked with a lot of entrepreneurs. I've been helping entrepreneurs reinvent themselves since 1999. And if you talk to any of those people that have gone from employee to entrepreneur, you'll find about 99% of them would never go back to the employment world, because we've created a culture of employer reliance instead of self-reliance. And I'm a stand for self-reliance through entrepreneurship. The problem is we have become employer reliant, and the moment you take that traditional job, you give a lot of your power away. And so what I want to do is talk a little bit about how do we get from here to there? How do we get from employee to entrepreneur? And there is an opportunity to make the transition. And, being an entrepreneur isn't easy, but neither is being an employee. And what's really tough is the transition from one to the other. But once you get to the other side, you'll find that your income isn't capped like it is with an employee. You can take responsibility for whatever income level you want to play at, and you can quite possibly succeed at a much higher level than the level you're at. So let's look at some of the things that stop us. There's friction. Number one is we don't know what options are available. We feel like there's not a lot of options available. And so, if you want to go from employee to entrepreneur, you need to explore your options. And you shouldn't make the jump until you have an option that makes sense for you. But if you haven't done the deep dive exploration, and I'll give you a little preview here, we're going to talk about this idea of choosing your business wisely. Well, you got to do some deep dive work to figure out what the heck business should you be in. And so, I think one of the reasons we get a little frustrated in life was we get disconnected from our sense of possibility. But if you do the deep dive work, and see that there are options available for you to create a business that works, that jives with you. I mean, ultimately, the goal is you want to wake up every day saying, I love what I do. I'm looking forward to my day. The employee says, I got to go to work, and the entrepreneur says, I get to go have fun making money, serving my clients and getting paid. And so the goal is to have you wake up every day looking forward to your day, saying, I love what I do, I'm good at what I do, I'm using my superpowers, I'm making a big impact on my clients, and I'm having a ripple effect onto the world, and wow, I even make money doing this stuff. But you'll never get from here to there unless you explore your options and find an option that resonates inside of you. The second thing is, we have internal limitations, internal beliefs. I can't do that. I don't have the entrepreneur gene. I tend to disagree with that. I think that children are born as geniuses and conditioned into mediocrity. I believe that, maybe the reason you don't think you're an entrepreneur is because you grew up your whole life where they told you go to school, get a good education, and become someone else's servant, okay? If that's the programming you got, that may be your programming, that I just need to get more education and get a better job working for someone else, but that will never get you to entrepreneurship. It's really ironic. It's interesting. Why do foreigners come to America and succeed so well in their own businesses? Well, their parents tell them something different. They tell their kids, go to America. It's the land of opportunity. You can start your own business and you can get rich. Well, if your parents told that, no wonder foreigners come here and succeed. So foreigners tell their kids that, but Americans tell their kids go to school, get an education, and become someone else's servant. So, your self-talk, your dialogue might be limiting you. The next thing that might be a friction or thing that's holding you back is your perceptions. If you perceive it difficult, it's going to be difficult. If you start looking at your options and your possibilities, and you find something like, oh, I would like that. That would be fun. I get it. This is it. This is what I'm called to do. When you discover your calling, nothing can stop you. Okay? And the last piece of friction, and this is really the important piece, is having a lack of a plan. If you don't have a good plan to get from employee to entrepreneur, you're probably going to struggle. If you've got a good plan, then you can approach it like the quality of being an entrepreneur is the steps it takes to get there. I have a plan. I have a blueprint. And really there's only 3 things you need to do anything, to get from point A to point Z, any goal you have in life. Okay, number 1 is you got to have the burning desire. You got to be 10 out of 10 committed. I'm going to make this entrepreneur thing work. I'm going to make this business thing work. I'm going to make my money-making business. I'm going to serve people and get paid. I'm going to make it work. So you got to have that burning desire to get from here to there, like whatever it takes. The second thing you need is a plan or a roadmap, and the third thing you need is support. I can help you with the plan, I can help you with the support, but that burning desire, that's got to come from you. And so, how do we, what is the roadmap? Well, I've looked at other people's roadmaps, and I'm not happy with other people's roadmaps. I think some of them, quite frankly, they suck, okay? They're not very good. And so I've seen a lot of how people teach business, and I don't like the way, so I had to create my own unique method. It's not like anything else. So the first thing is, if you want to have a map to build your business, I'm going to give you the broad brushstrokes right now. You need to do what you love for yourself and others, okay? You need to do what you love. You need to share the love through your service and good marketing, so you can receive the love in the form of gratitude and cash. So let's just walk through this. And this is what I do in my group program. It's also what I do in my one-on-one program. So you need to not only do what you love for yourself, but you need to do what you love for others. Everything you want in life, including money, is controlled by others. And by the way, if you've got that job, I want to let you know something. You are self-employed already. If you're an entrepreneur, if you've got a business and you've got 100 customers and you lose one, you are self-employed with 99 customers. If you have a job as an employee, you are self-employed with 1 client. And if you lose your 1 client, if you lose your job, you become unemployed. But I'm here to argue that if you're unemployed, you're self-employed with no clients. So we're all self-employed. The question is have you chosen the right business for you so that you actually do what you love, share the love, receive the love? And you know what? All these other pieces don't matter if you're not in the right business for you. So we want to make sure that you're in the right business for you. And, sometimes I work with my clients 4 or 5 weeks to just work on all the concepts and hit this from many different angles to figure that out. It's deep dive work. And I've broken that out into its own little class by itself. Okay? The second piece is you got to have a brand that you love. This is the roadmap. This is the roadmap to take you from employee to entrepreneur. So first you got to choose the right business, and then you got to brand that business. You got to figure out, what is a brand that I really represents me and what I love doing, and what's a brand that I can create that buyers love my brand and what it represents, and it's memorable and useful and valuable to them. So, the second step in this roadmap is, you get to, when we work together, you get to work on your brand. You get the help to build that brand. The third part of doing what you love is crafting out your irresistible offer, your superior, irresistible, no-brainer offer. Todd Brown calls it a sin offer. Superior, irresistible, no-brainer. So that when people see your offer, they're like, wow, that makes sense. So you want to have an offer that you love offering, and you need to have an offer that people love buying from, and then once they buy, you need to have an offer you love delivering on, so that we can stay consistent with this intention of creating a business so you do what you love for yourself and your clients. Okay, that's the first 3 parts of this roadmap, is do what you love. The second 3 parts is sharing the love. Okay, and in today's modern world, nobody wants to hear an advertisement, but everybody likes a good once upon a time. So you need to become a good storyteller. So part of the transition from employee to entrepreneur is you need to pick up some of the marketing. You know, when you have a job, you don't have to market for yourself. You just show up and do your job assignment. The only thing is you might be making 30 or 40 or 50,000 a year instead of 300 or 400 or 500,000 a year. So you don't need to learn marketing and sales if you're fine making 30 or 40 or 50,000 a year. But if you want to make the big money in your own business and be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to pick up, storytelling and sharing the love and marketing and promoting yourself. So you need to become that good storyteller so people actually pay attention to you. The second part of sharing the love is, now, if you don't play your horn, there isn't any music. And so you got to get really good at playing your horn and letting people know who you are and what you're about, and telling your story, and getting in front of people that are in your target market, and getting them to raise their hand and generate leads. Promotion, the fruit of promotion is lead generation, to get people to raise their hand and show some interest in what you do. Again, this is part of this roadmap to transition you from employee to entrepreneur. And then finally, in terms of sharing the love, there's this third piece, which is lead nurturing. And this is, quite honestly, a lot of entrepreneurs suck at this. They generate leads, but they don't follow up. They don't build the relationship over time. But this is an important part of sharing the love, is once people raise their hand and show some interest, you need to continue to nurture the relationship to raise the buying temperature. And again, this is a roadmap to help you transition from entrepreneur. So you need to do what you love through your, for yourself and your clients. You need to share the love through marketing and promotion and your good service, so you can start to receive the love. And receiving the love might be direct sales. It might be appointments on your calendar. The first way you know you're receiving the love is people reach out to you and say, I don't know if I'm ready to buy from you, but I'm sure interested in finding out more about your program. The moment they book on your calendar and they're leaning into you, you got to be grateful for that. Like, hey, I got people that are interested in what I'm doing. They haven't bought yet, but they're interested, and I received that. The next part is you need to have conversations that you can turn into cash. You need to have the ability to enroll in conversations that people hire you and pay you so that you receive money, okay? And that's a really important part. And quite honestly, this is one of the reasons people fail as entrepreneurs, is they don't have a system in place to consistently generate new leads, new sales, new customers, which brings in the money. If you don't have the ability to bring in leads, then let's develop it, because this is part of the roadmap, is you need to get good at getting paid. And finally, the third way you receive the love is, so they pay you and you do the work, okay? And when you do excellent work and you give people a wow experience, they will be so happy that some of them will be repeat customers. They will be so happy that some of them will give you referrals, and they will be so happy that some of them will even give you video testimonials. And so what I'm here to let you know is there is an opportunity to transition from employee to entrepreneur. Okay? And I know there's some resistance. The work, you know who's giving you resistance is your employer. If you say, hey, I'm thinking about starting my own business, your employer is the first one to say 9 out of 10 people will fail in business. And it's not true that 9 out of 10 people fail in business. Well, it's partly true, because some people just don't know what they're doing. But your employer has a vested interest to say, don't go do that entrepreneur thing, because you'll probably fail. You're much safer keeping your job with me. They have a vested interest in keeping you around, as they make thousands of dollars an hour, and they're paying you less than $20 an hour. So that's really what I wanted to share with you today. If you like this video, if you'd like to explore some of your options, what's the next step? Send me a private message. Let's have a conversation, because this is my work. I transform employees into entrepreneurs. I am an entrepreneur maker. I've been helping entrepreneurs reinvent themselves since 1999. I've helped several thousand, over 3,000 people grow existing businesses, and I've helped several hundred people start businesses from scratch. The question is, would you like to be next? If you're interested, reach out. Let me buy an hour of my time. I'll put a schedule link to my calendar in the comments. But let me buy an hour of my time. Let's have the conversation. There's no cost. There's no risk in having a conversation. But, look, if you want to go from employee to entrepreneur, there's only 3 things you need. Number 1 is the burning desire. Number 2 is you need a roadmap or a plan, which I just shared you, the one that I've created, and quite honestly, we've had great success with. And number 3 is you need support, and that's what I do. I'm an entrepreneur maker. I'm a mentor for startup entrepreneurs. I'm a mentor to help good entrepreneurs become great entrepreneurs. And so if you want the help's available. Just send me a private message. I'd love to have a conversation with you. This is Joe Nicasio, your business coach, employee at escapeplan.com. God bless you and have an amazing weekend.